Hi, everyone. Dr. Emily Letran here, speaker and high performance coach. And I'm actually in Orlando, across the country from where I live in California, I just finished attending what the event called The Day with Dan. Dan here, meaning Dan Kennedy. He's a marketing guru in direct response marketing that I've been studying um, since 2010. And it's great to be able to be in a live event. I think there were my friend was guessing about 1,000 people in the room and have him go through discussions how to look at your business, how to improve your business, how to grow your business. And I thought I'm just gonna share a little bit of a reminder that he said today, which was very timely, and that is to understand your customer. Now, by customer, obviously I mean your patient, your client, the people that you serve. And the reminder is, do you actually understand your customer? And the two things that are very important to help us be more successful and be able to serve more customers or clients is number one is, do the customers have the ability to buy your product or service? A lot of times when we are presenting in front of a customer or a client or a patient. So let's say I'm a dentist and I'm talking to a patient in the chair and I'm talking, let's say, about braces. And the braces is let's just say it's $6,000. Does that particular patient have the $6,000 to spend? Now, if that patient does not have the total fund, is there a way for the patient to make payment? So in this case, as a business owner, you want to look at whether or not you can do financing. I don't advise that you do your own financing. I advise you to outsource the financing elsewhere. I actually just received an email from a patient, and the wife said, "You know what? I'm gonna take my husband to my other dentist because the other dentist is allowing us to make payments without interest." So there's a decision that I have to make. Now, for me, the interest comes from the third party financing because I definitely don't want to be a bank, especially when it's big treatment plan and it involved a certain amount of length. They were doing dental work, the upper right, the lower right, the upper left, the lower left, and it involved surgeries and everything. So it's more extensive, and it costs more, and it's not something that I want to be carrying the financing for. So obviously, I do respect the patient's wish that they're going to go somewhere else because of that, because they didn't want to go through the third party financing, which for me, it works out better for me. So we have to make that decision, right? Does this patient have the ability to pay? And the second thing that is closely related to that is, does this person actually want to have that product, that service? Is this person motivated to get that particular treatment or product or service? So if you think about, and the example that Dan shared today was like timeshare. Um, I personally don't have any timeshare, but certainly when you look at when a company sell timeshare, a hotel, or he was referencing Disney, obviously it's something that people are motivated to get, right? They're gonna get time at these beautiful resort, top-notch services, etc. And now can they pay for it? And then if Disney have a financing program that the potential client can afford to make payments to, then it's a done deal. It's a seal deal, easy, right? Easy sell, we call it. Sometimes we may be talking to a client or a customer, and this person may not really be motivated to get whatever that you're selling, even though this person may have money. So when you're presenting in front of an audience, as a speaker, I do, and some of you may speak in front of an audience, or maybe it's a captive audience. When you're a doctor or a dentist, you're talking to one patient sitting in the chair, and they're looking at you, and you're only talking to them, right? You have to understand that part. Is this person motivated to go through with that treatment? Does this person actually want what you're offering? And secondly, can this person afford the payments? Does this person have the funds to actually invest in your products or services? And I think that's where a lot of frustration comes in sometime. For example, during the pandemic, and I don't really like to talk about it too much, uh, but now we're obviously rolling into a recession. I would have patients who come in and they would qualify for thousands of dollars of loan, right? So yeah, the payment is there. They could make the payment, but then they weren't sure about the future of their job because places were closing down and you couldn't go to work, etc. So they didn't want to go ahead and do the financing, right? Even though they want the service, they qualify for the financing so they could get the service, but now they're not that motivated because they are not sure about the security of their job. And by the way, one of my patients was like that, and then he came back 3 months later and he just went for the treatment. So the timing is especially important, obviously, with everything. So what I would recommend from what I'm hearing today, and just is a great reminder, is when you're talking to a patient, a customer, a client, a prospect, make sure that that person actually can do both, right? Can afford the payment, or you're going to give them a payment plan, and actually wants what you have to offer, or is actually motivated to do that. Now, sometimes they may not be motivated because they held back by fear. They held back because they don't lack of trust, right? There's a lot of things why somebody may not be motivated. That's a little bit of a deeper conversation. But I think a lot of time as business owners, what we do is we just, hey, this is the greatest thing that I do offer, or the greatest product or service, and then this is the fee and this is the price, and we can do financing for you. And then we're wondering how come this person's not going through with the purchase. And so it was a great reminder that we got to consider both, right? There got to be a match in that message that you're giving to the customer, and also that customer has to be motivated and need to have that ability to pay. I know it sounds very basic, very, very basic, but like I said, during the pandemic, it became very clear to me this person have the money, this person can pay, but this person is not going to do the treatment, right? They're not going to go through with it because they're unsure, right? They're not quite motivated, as motivated as I need them to be. So keep that in mind when you talk just to a prospect and they're not moving forward. Address those two things. They sound very basic, but they're very true. Dig a little deeper, ask some more questions to actually understand why they're not saying yes at this time, because you already know that they should have the product, the services, the treatment, but how come they're not moving forward? I hope that's helpful. I hope you're going through a beautiful Tuesday. It's raining over here in Orlando, so I'll be sharing some more tips throughout the week because I'm attending day one of Funnel Hacking Live. I think it starts in the middle of the day, so maybe attending half day. And then after that, I'll be going to Denver. I'll be speaking at my good friend Gary Barnes' Business Breakthrough Bootcamp, and I'll be sharing some tips over there also. So have a wonderful Tuesday and have a great week.